Is it impossible to acquire talent? Hello, this is Chagok. Today I'm going to make a video for those who want to be illustrators without innate talent. This video is for suggesting a general learning system and my perspective on talent instead of providing a detailed way of improving drawing skills. So keep this point in mind. Let's talk about talent first. We always use the word talent. Getting good grades at school is all about talent. Working hard is also driven by natural talent. When it comes to art, innate talent stands out more, blah, blah, blah. Talent is usually considered a special ability given to someone from birth, and is also regarded as something only for a handful of people. For that reason, if you ask 10 random people if they think they have any talent, 9 of them would probably say they don't have any particular talent. I feel the same way too. An interesting point is that people desire to assess others' talent while perceiving themselves as lacking talent. They would try to stop you starting to build up your career in a specific field in that you lack talent. For instance, your parents would probably say you don't have enough talent when you tell them you want to become an artist. According to their logic, you cannot achieve success in the art field without innate talent. But I have a question here. What standards are they applying to assess talent? I've seen a lot of people who have talked about talent in the art field since I decided to draw as a job. Friends of mine, relatives, internet users, aspiring illustrators, and professional illustrators. A variety of people are having conversation about talent, but I'm sure each of them has a different definition of talent. If you dig a bit deeper, you'll find out some people consider showing promise from a young age as talent, while others view the ability to draw accurate shapes without any reference as talent. If you're watching this video, you probably have your own definition of talent. Amidst such diverse opinions about talent, including your one, I've discovered a common thread regarding talent. It is that people refer to something that exists in others, but not in themselves as talent. For example, I had never heard anyone say I had talent for art until I started learning to draw. However, I started hearing more people around me say I'm talented in art since I began learning to draw. You know, it's not like my innate talent was hidden and showed up all of a sudden. I've simply undergone basic painting training, taking art classes, and building my skills. Then why do my relatives and friends of mine think I'm talented in art? That's because those individuals haven't received any formal painting training, so they consider my acquired painting skill, which they don't possess, as talent. In short, people tend to assume talent is only given to certain individuals simply because they lack it. That's why even some professional illustrators also consider themselves as lacking talent. There's always relative weaknesses even if they can draw really well. And when they see other artists who are skilled at what they lack, they automatically attribute it to talent. If people are really labeling what they lack as talent, there's something we should think about. Is it impossible to acquire talent? I had thought about this question for quite a long time and just came across a book that has been a game changer for me. It is called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. I'll give you a brief overview of this book to talk about the previous question more deeply. As you can see from the title, it's a book regarding talent. The author brings up this question. If talent is randomly bestowed to certain individuals, why do we see clusters of geniuses being discovered in specific times and places? If talent were really randomly given out, it would be found all over the place and at different times. But when you just look at the Renaissance period from the 14th to 16th century, you see a whole bunch of geniuses popping up in Europe. It's kind of weird. So the author explores the concept of talent by investigating places where numerous exceptionally talented people have been discovered. In the author's expression, these places are referred to as talent hotbeds, and he finally discovers a talent development system in those places. The system consists of 3 elements: ignition through positive motivation, and deep practice that focuses intensely on improving weaknesses. A master coach who provides constructive feedback without emotional approach. This book presents various examples of nurturing talent through this system, and they are really convincing. However, I might not have fully trusted the author's argument if that was all. But as the book's content also aligned with my own experiences, it gave me tremendous persuasive power. I mean, there was an illustrator whom I had considered an innate genius. Although she was young, her drawings were already incredible, and her style was really unique and artistic. I used to think it was due to her natural talent. But here's the thing. I happened to have the opportunity to see her work process and found out she had invested a lot of time in learning design theories. From the color combinations to considerations of brightness, saturation, and even the contrast created by different shapes. She took into account all these elements that can influence the flow of the viewer's gaze. I was quite shocked. The person I had believed to create artworks with innate talent was actually dedicating herself to improving her drawings more than anyone else. It was like finding out a friend of mine whom I had believed to be a natural genius was actually pulling an all-nighter to study every day. She also mentioned how she started drawing. She told me her interest in art was sparked by one of her classmates who was really skilled at art. And it ignited a strong motivation within her, leading her to dedicate a lot of time in practicing and honing her drawing abilities. When it comes to studying methods, she mentioned that instead of just focusing on drawing a lot, she had invested a lot of time in analyzing skilled artists' drawings and finding problems with her artworks. She then gradually improved her painting skills by applying her realization to her own artworks. The way she started and learned drawing aligns perfectly with the talent development system described in the talent code. She was motivated and inspired by seeing an exceptional individual, which is what the talent code refers to as ignition. Instead of mindlessly dedicating time to repetition, she carefully analyzed other skilled artists' drawings and made efforts to fix issues with her own artworks. This aligns with the second element of the talent development system, known as deep practice. She didn't have an actual master coach, but master coach is someone who objectively points out rooms for improvement without emotional approach. She said she had tried to identify her problems and worked on improving them. In a way, she basically played the role of her own master coach. So from my perspective, it seems like she has already been practicing the methods to nurture her talent for a long time. I've noticed that other skilled and popular illustrators also approach their work in a very analytical way and produce a tremendous amount of work based on their analysis. This is why I agree with Daniel Coyle's assertion that so-called geniuses have achieved their skills through systematic and effective practice. Even based on my own experience, it was much more helpful to improve my painting skills when I focused on analyzing other great artworks and applying the analysis to my own work, rather than simply drawing 100 hands and strands of hair. Sure, I shouldn't dwell on regrets, but I wish I had found this book a few years ago. It could have helped me study more efficiently. I know all men are not created equal, but it seems like people tend to get overly intimidated by the abstract realm of talent more than necessary. Professional illustrators often dismiss the debate about whether innate talent exists or not as pointless. What exactly is talent and who can truly judge it? When you see so-called geniuses, you often see their incredible level of practice and dedication. So is it truly talent or simply hard work? Anyway, since I haven't fully practiced through the talent development system proposed by Daniel Coyle, I don't want to jump to the pessimistic conclusion and label myself as lacking talent. I know seeing once is much better than hearing 100 times. So it would be the best to show you guys my improvement from now on. I will strive with a sense of responsibility and dedication. I hope my video inspired a positive mindset in you. Thanks for watching my video today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!